Yes.
And we're coming back to you live from the duck pond. I'm Sean.
And I'm Zach.
Zach messing up the intro a bit. It's okay.
Look, I had a thought, and then Sean just interrupted me.
It was time to start.
You're right, I should have known better.
Yeah, come on,
That's
man.
on me. I'm so sorry.
Felt it. You felt it in your bones enough to make your systems grow. Glow? Welcome to the new age. To the new age.
I actually haven't heard that song for a while, to be honest.
Have you seen the music video for that song?
No.
That is a joy. Just a joy to experience. It's a stuffed animal fighting ring.
What?
And I'm not joking.
What?
Go check out the Radioactive music video, everybody. It is just a joy.
That is probably like the last thing I would have expected.
I know, right? Imagine 16-year-old Sean being like, okay, I hear this song a lot. Let's see what's going on with it. And then, oh, I'm in love. That was my first love.
Yeah.
The Radioactive music video.
That's such a special story.
It was special. Thank you for letting me tell it. I haven't shared it with anybody, so I'm glad you and me could have this intimate moment together.
It's gonna be one of those days. Oh no.
Neither of us have recovered from being exhausted, evidently.
That's gonna be the last month, dude. It's just when am I gonna actually have energy again? But
Probably
it's
not.
fine.
I told you, currently going up right now is the next episode of Rhythm Doctor.
Yes.
And I told you I loved it. This was the part I didn't see, right? So this was all new material for me.
Oh, nice.
And can I just say, they do such a, the music's amazing. We talked about that, right? But they do such a good job within each act of developing characters and a story so that at the boss it just all unfolds in a perfect way and it just sends chills. It's amazing. They use minimal lines of dialogue to develop these characters, and then they tell how they're feeling through the songs, and then they use that to progress the story into the boss, which just is the climax of everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's incredible.
That's cool.
I think it's such a cool way to tell stories as someone who loves music and loves storytelling and loves telling stories through music, So, anyways, I was just thinking about that. I was riled up.
You were riled? The question is, do you have a favorite song yet?
I'm tied. So one of them is called
Wait for it.
I don't remember either of their names.
So you do have some though that you like.
All the Times, which is the second boss song.
Okay.
Which is a song about addiction and overcoming it. It's really cool. And then the other one, I haven't even encountered it in the game yet, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's a song about like a musician trying to write and not having motivation, and beating himself up over it.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's very, very, very cool. So, anyways, that's all.
I saw I think 3 or 4 songs, and that's all so far.
Yeah. Hey, man.
But they were all so good. I think it was the second song in the entire game.
Honestly,
and I was like, this is it.
If you need music in the background to do homework to, just turn on those videos.
Straight up.
Because even Corby talking is just a chill time, So.
And the 3 songs I saw, dude, were just incredible.
And it's awesome too, because whenever I think of rhythm games, I think of very upbeat, bouncy songs. But this game, it has that, but there's such a variety of different types of music in it that it really keeps me engaged because of it. There was a duet between these 2 people and a chicken in this new video. The chicken's singing some high notes, and they start doing a slow dance together, and that's the song. It's a slow dance song in a rhythm game.
Huh.
But it works because you actually have to keep rhythm for all 3 of them at the same time.
Oh, geez.
It's wild. It's such a good idea. So yeah, it keeps me like fully engaged because I never know what type of music I'm gonna hear next.
Right. I do have to say, like, I think it actually looks pretty difficult to, like, play as well. I was watching Corey do the first boss, I think it was. I was like,
Yeah.
I would have failed right there,
No,
100%.
It's the difficulty has spiked already. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very easy game. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to talk about that for a second.
I mean, hey, it's a rhythm doctor.
I got nothing else to go off on that. Yeah. Zach, tell me the story of your life.
The story of my life. Well, it all started when I was born.
Oh, surprising.
Crazy, right?
That's already a plot twist. Because if we're talking Mahayana Buddhism, it did not. In truth, your life is empty because all is empty, because all is just cause and effect.
It's all just an illusion, Sean. Not again. We're going straight back to that after this. Too soon.
There's no freedom from it.
I will say, I actually whipped out my notes yesterday.
Wow.
Because I was telling my dad about what we were learning.
Yeah.
Because he's just interested in it. Like, I was going through it with him, and like, I was just like, this is crazy. Like, all over again. I feel like I don't know how well I explained it to him, because it's like, I don't know if I even understand it myself, but...
I tried to explain it to Allison, and it made her say, I hate Buddhism. So, I'm not sure I explained it correctly.
The problem with, like, when I was trying to explain it in Mahayana Buddhism, was I felt like I had to explain the previous form of Buddhism.
It feels
as
difficult.
Well.
I found that too. Every time I've tried to explain like one specific thing, I'm like, I have to like dive so far back because there's so much background
Let me give you
knowledge
all
need.
This context.
Yeah, like, okay, so you want to hear about Mahayana Buddhism? That's fine. But first, let's talk about the Rig Veda.
Yes. And this is how Buddhism critiqued Hinduism.
This is actually a Hindu text. It'll make sense later on, don't worry. What? Why are we talking about this?
And like, we even discussed it a little bit, like, I'm glad we started where we did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if we just like jumped into like modern Buddhism,
if we
it would have been like,
if we just dived right into it.
if we just dived right into it, yeah. No, like, seriously. But like, starting where we did with the Rig Veda, like, it gives you like this context of how things like have progressed.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that helps a lot with like
it definitely
understanding.
Does. Yeah. Because
So.
you can see, like, you know, I don't know if I want to call them reactions to things, because you know they develop over a huge period of time, and calling it a reaction makes it feel like it happens like that, right? But like, you can see why things develop the way they do. Right. They're like seeking answers for things that weren't previously answered, and like contradictions that occurred previously and stuff like that. So, soundbite.
That was pretty good.
Perfect. Okay.
See, I think last class we brought up like the idea of nihilism.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, it's spicy nugs. Life has no meaning.
Yep, straight up.
So.
Well, and he said, it sounds like we're talking about nihilism with it, but we're actually not. And we're going to go into that today, which is exciting for me because I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on nihilism already. After all, I've seen tweets from nihilist Arby's, and so...
what else do you need, honestly?
I pretty much understand it based off that. Where are we at? Okay. I'm gonna flip the script now. We hit our 10 minutes, even though like we didn't talk about too much nonsense. I think we're so tired we're just talking about random crap now.
I mean, so in a way, is it nonsense still?
Interesting. Is anything we say not random crap? For it not to be random crap, does it have to be well thought out? Because definitely I've never brought anything to Spicy Nuggs that was well thought out. I was just like, that's an interesting concept. Let's go talk about it for 20 minutes with someone, even though neither of us have thought about it for more than 5.
I feel like there's one exception to that, and that's the tall man episode. Because I was broken for a week.
I knew immediately, the tall man, of course. Yeah, you're probably right. So this was I told you my positive psychology class. We were doing some stuff about nature this week.
Yes.
We're also talking about mindfulness.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, so we're back on mindfulness. I
Okay.
believe we've discussed it before on Spicy Nuggs.
We have.
And we've definitely discussed it in class and how our professor thinks it's a scam, which he's not wrong.
So, I don't think... That's interesting you say that. I'm going to, like, go on a little
please,
tangent
go ahead.
here. A little detour. But...
Because I think what you're going to say is going to help build what I'm
Okay, cool.
preparing to say.
I don't think the idea of mindfulness, of how it was supposed to be intended, is like a scam, or...
It's just the way...
I think it's the way we use it now, which is... Yes, yes. Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
See, the fact that you said that really actually does help, I think. Because we had to watch like a couple of TED Talks. I'm sorry. I know.
Wow, Sean. Bringing back the TED Talk. It's been so long.
It was for class.
Well, let's be honest, you wanted to watch those
embarrassed.
TED Talks. You wanted to watch this.
No, I hate them.
And now Sean thinks he's so smart, so educated.
She gives like a list of videos to watch. She's like, watch them all. And like every time I click on one, I'm like, please be 2 minutes, please 2 minutes. And then I see the TED Talk logo come up. I'm like, crap it for 20 minutes. Ah, crap.
Yep.
Speed it up ×2, baby. Come on.
We're going to 10 minutes. Let's go.
So they were about mindfulness. And I think it's important here to like kind of define mindfulness because we talk about it. But like it's a lot of the descriptions in the video she gave us was very much just like take 5 minutes, like do a breathing exercise, focus on the moment, right? That's what mindfulness is, right? It's taking time to focus on the moment, how you're feeling now, where you're at now, what you're seeing, tasting, smelling, all that stuff right now, right?
It's like I always feel like there's more than one definition of mindfulness.
I bet there is. That's why I felt I needed to define it because I was like, because every time I've heard about mindfulness, there's kind of like a bad something toward it. I feel, which is unfortunate. But
see, and I actually like the definition you came up with, but I do think mindfulness involves more than oneself.
Oh, interesting.
I think if one is truly mindful, you're aware of others and how you are affecting others.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And how they're affecting you.
Okay.
So
let me build off of that. Because I think what you just said informs where I'm going with this actually really well. So this is where my failing comes in.
Okay.
After I watched those videos, I went to do some laundry. And I was looking for something.
Were you mindful about that laundry?
No, I wasn't. I was looking for something to watch to distract myself. And I saw a video, this is where it comes from. I watched a TED Talk of my own fruition here.
Wow. But
the TED Talk was called something like "Do Not Practice Mindfulness." Which I was like, huh. And when I clicked on it, the guy, he's not like the typical guy you expect to be talking about mindfulness, because usually they have like the very like calming voice, and they're like, everything, like just take a moment. He like seemed like kind of nervous and high strung, and like that's how he let out. He was like, I've never really liked mindfulness because I'm very good at being nervous. He described how he was on vacation at a hot springs and he was stressed out, and he was thinking, I should take a picture of this place so that I could have it in my office to help me de-stress, even though he was still stressed there. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm interested now. And it wasn't exactly, it was a clickbaity kind of title because he was talking about mindfulness. But what he was saying was another dimension, people like they try to practice mindfulness. And what happens is they don't feel better. And that's like where they're like, I don't like mindfulness. It didn't work clearly, right? He's like, that's if you've experienced that, just realize like you still practiced mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness and still feel bad because it's whatever you're feeling in the moment,
right?
And that's valid, whatever it is. He said, if you're like going upstairs and you start like your breath gets heavy, your heart rate goes up, your legs start feeling tired, we don't say you're doing stairs wrong. That's just like what happens when you climb stairs.
Right.
So sometimes when you practice mindfulness, you're going to feel bad because just sometimes in life we feel bad.
See, that's really interesting because I do feel like when a lot of people talk about mindfulness, they are looking for like
a release.
specific emotion.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because like I've never thought of mindfulness that way.
Exactly.
Like
That's
ever.
why I was like, oh.
But like it makes sense that like especially the way it's portrayed now is almost how it is. Like he's like you'll be so mindful of everything and it's going to make you feel so much better because you'll have this greater understanding of everything around you, right? And I don't think that's what mindfulness is at all.
Yeah.
I think mindfulness is like even if it is just a bad emotion, right? Like maybe you're having a crappy day, you can be mindful of that crappy day and be mindful that hey, maybe tomorrow will be better. But it's okay that like you're in this mood now.
I think like acceptance is like the real key. It's like being okay in the moment. There was a cool quote. I can't remember who he quoted, and I think I'm going to butcher the quote. But it was something along the lines of, the first time you experience the world is as a child, when you're born.
Okay.
And then everything after that is a memory of how you experienced it. Right? And so the thing he's saying is like mindfulness is trying to make you focus back in and re-experience the world, whatever is happening at that moment.
That's interesting.
I think the prescribed mindfulness that we're talking about, where it's like you're trying to feel better, you're trying to do something, I think that's where like a lot of the distaste comes from for it. Is because people are like, okay, you're telling me this is gonna make me feel better, and that's like what they sell you on. That's what mindfulness is for, according to people. Like this is going to help make you feel better. So I really liked him just being like, sometimes life sucks, and you can be mindful when life sucks. It won't necessarily fix everything, but like at least you'll be in the moment instead of feeling anxious about something in the future or feeling depressed about things in the past. Right.
I almost feel like, I guess this is my communication.
Please.
But I almost feel like we need like a new word for mindfulness. Because I feel like mindfulness has because society gives words meaning.
Yes.
And like so many, like mindfulness now doesn't mean what it's supposed to mean, I don't feel like anymore.
Yeah.
So I also like there needs to be like a new word that we say.
You realize the last time we said that, we created
we made a word.
Or whatever?
Yes, I do.
Are you suggesting we do that with mindfulness?
We might just have to, Sean.
Alright. M. What is the opposite of M?
W.
That makes complete sense. W. I. O. Because it's a circle instead of a line.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have
W-O. N.
U.
It's W-O-U. Great. D. B.
P.
Oh, P. That makes much more sense. You're right. Okay.
We have
W-O-U-P.
Whoa.
Okay. F.
I almost want to say Q, but I don't know if that's right.
No, it'll work because the next letter is U, which will be never mind. It won't work. Let's go with Q.
So we got
Whoopqua. And then U again, which is N. Whoopqun. L.
I want to go back to O, but
we already used it. That's fine. O again. Whoopquno. N again, so that's U.
Whoopquanu.
Yeah. E.
Oh, E.
E is a tough one.
Are we thinking capital E or lowercase e?
Well, I'd probably be lowercase. It's not like all capitalized.
So it needs to be a sharp letter.
Feeling like X maybe.
Ooh, I like X. Whoopquanooks. Whoopquanooks.
And then two S's. The opposite of S.
Maybe just a Z.
That makes sense to me. Whoopquanooks. Put it on screen, Sean.
Add the definition of mindfulness. Whoopquanooks under there.
Put the definition underneath. Which the definition is being present in the moment whether that moment is good or bad, just accepting however you're feeling. Yes. Right?
Yes.
Is there anything
Period.
else? Does that feel like a good definition?
Yeah. I'll send you a massive definition.
Please do.
It'll be like a page
Please do.
long.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll have it like scroll up the screen really fast.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, please do.
Whoop-quanooks.
And then just one last thing before we end today. I wanted to talk about one of the things was talked about with mindfulness is one of the ways to practice mindfulness.
Are we talking about mindfulness or whoop-quanooks?
One of the ways to practice good whoop-quanooks is to do like a breathing exercise. Because you focus on your breathing and it gives you something to focus on instead of whatever else you were focusing on, right? So this is a breathing exercise that was recommended by someone in like an article or something, but also I started doing near the beginning of my time in school, when I was like severely depressed, and it was like genuinely helpful for me. And they call it like a square. I guess like they use it in the military as well sometimes to help them calm down. But like basically like you start like on the bottom right corner, right? And you breathe in for like 4 seconds or something. So you count to 4 and you breathe in, and that's like going up. And then you hold that breath for 4 seconds, and that's going across the top. And then you release for 4 seconds, and that's going down. And then you hold that again for 4 seconds, and you just keep repeating that, and you picture like the square. And I've been trying to do that because I've been learning about whoop-quanooks recently. I like, it's not like I do it constantly, but like every now and again when I'm like feeling like I'm just like obsessing on something, that I just like take a moment and like 30 seconds or something and do that. And I feel like it's helpful, but also it's just like it gives me a moment to be like, okay, you're stressed right now. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay to be stressed. Don't stress about being stressed, because it's okay to be stressed. You know what I mean? So
I feel like that is like one of the biggest things. It's just like stopping for a second.
Yes.
And just taking a moment, whether
Absolutely.
that's breathing exercises, whether that is just like going through your mind, like just reassuring yourself or something. I don't think it has to be any specific thing. I do breathing exercises, like clearly they work. Like
yeah,
there's a reason there's so many breathing exercises. I'm like, why is like whenever you're in a stressful situation, people just say, all right, take a deep breath, right?
Yeah.
Because it really does help. So next time you're in a stressful situation, you need some whoop-quanooks in your life, just take a deep breath.
Make sure to join me and Zach for our mindfulness workshops we will now be hosting. Just for the low price of $500 a session, we will teach you how to be more mindful. Notice the word I'm using. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm still Sean.
And I'm still Zach.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Spicy Nuggs, Spicy Nuggs is our friend. Spicy Nuggs, Spicy Nuggs is our friend.
All right. I guess we're recording now. So you know what that means. Time to talk about Arthur for 20 minutes.
Woo! We're already back to Arthur.
We're back on it, baby.
5 seconds into the new episode.
Let's go. I mean, this will be the end of the episode. So everyone will get really, really hyped.
They'll have Arthur on their minds as they finish watching.
Yeah.
Because, you know, everybody watches to the end of Spicy Nuggs, 100%.
Every time. I checked. I don't know why. I checked the analytics.
Oh, no.
Recently.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
So the last video got 1 view, which is like the check mark. Like that's our average, right? And the watch time was above average at 15 seconds.
Yes. Hey, that's pretty good. That's the big numbers right there.
Oh, it killed me. It's like, that's amazing. Our average watch time, our average retention on a video right now is
15
12 seconds.
Well,
People barely stay for 10 seconds. They're like, okay, I'm done.
they
with
get
this."
through the intro, they're like, alright, these guys are stupid. We're out. Oh, you think they don't make it past the 10-minute mark of rambling? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
that's
I'd
when you
be-
finally get to the good stuff.
I know. I'd be surprised if they made it that far.